Hello, boys and girls. We're going to be reading the story The Abominable Snowman, a story from Nepal, told by Fran Parnell and illustrated by Sophie Fatus. Chapter 1. The Very Lazy Boy. Long ago and far away, there lived a poor woman and her son, Ramay. They lived in a small hut, high in the mountains. Ramay was a kind boy, and his mother loved him very much. But Ramay was lazy. In fact, he was very, very lazy. He just sat outside all day doing nothing. Hour after hour, he watched the birds flying and the clouds floating by. "You are so lazy, Ramay." His mother asked him to collect wood for the fire, but Ramay just sat, so the fire died out. His mother asked him to sweep the floor, but Ramay just sat, so the dust got thicker and thicker. One day, Ramay's mother lost her temper. She was angry. "Lazy bones," she shouted at him. "You are lazy and good for nothing. Get out of this house. Don't come back until you've done some honest work." She chased him out of the hut and slammed the door behind him. Bang! Where shall I go? Ramay was very surprised. He did not understand why his mother was so angry. He walked off into the mountains, wondering what to do. He walked and thought. He thought and walked. Soon Ramay was a long, long way from home. He was worried. He knew that evening was coming. It would soon be dark. Chapter 2. The Hidden Cave. Ramay's tummy rumbled like thunder. He realized that he was very hungry. "Maybe there is something to eat in my pocket," he said to himself. He put his hand into his pocket and scratched about. "Ooh, what luck!" He found 3 bits of stale bread. He sat down among the twisted roots of an old tree and got comfortable. While he prepared to eat his simple meal, Ramay chattered to himself about the crumbs of bread. He said, "Should I just eat one now and save the other 2 for later? Or should I gobble up all 3 at once?" Now, Ramay did not know, but there was something hidden beneath him. Under the roots of the tree where he sat was a cave. In the cave lived a Shokpa with his wife and their baby. A Shokpa is a magical mountain creature. It is also called an abominable snowman. Abominable means horrible. A Shokpa's hair is as thick as it bears to keep out the cold, and it is as white as snow to help him hide. So a Shokpa looks like a horrible snowman. The Shokpa heard Ramay talking and began to tremble with fear. A terrible monster is standing over our cave," the Shokpa said to his wife. "I think he wants to eat us." "Oh no! I heard him talking. He's going to eat us. He's trying to decide whether to eat us all at once, at one time, or eat us all together." The Shokpa's wife clutched her child tightly to her hairy chest. The frightened family huddled together. Their sharp teeth shattered, and their tiny bones clattered together like drumsticks. "Oh, terrible monster," called the Shokpa. "Please, please do not eat my family. I beg you. We are very hairy and very thin. We are not tasty at all. Promise not to eat us, and I will give you my magic wand. It will give you whatever you wish for." "Go and eat something else." Chapter 3. The Magic Wand. The Shokpa's voice boomed up from below. It made Ramay leap to his feet. Ramay was amazed, but he wasn't afraid. He realized that the creature below was afraid of him. The Shokpa thought that Ramay was the monster. So Ramay decided to play a trick. In a gruff and growly voice, he boomed back, "Hello? Well, I suppose I could use your wand as a toothpick. I have just had a big bite to eat. I think that one of the goats I ate
is stuck in my back teeth."
As soon as he had spoken, a wand appeared out of the ground in front of him. Ramay snatched it up in delight. Then he set off home to show his mother. But the sun began to set behind the mountains. Ramay had only travelled a short distance, and he knew he is still a long way from home. He knew that he had to find somewhere to stay for the night. Ramay looked here and he looked there for shelter. Just as he was about to give up, he spotted a little shack through the trees. "Hello!" He ran to the shack and knocked on the door. An old woodcutter answered and invited Ramay in. Ramay was so excited about his adventure that he told the whole story to the man. He told him all about the magic wand. "Test it out now, just to make sure it really works," said the old man. He had a wicked gleam in his eye, but Ramay did not seem to see it. So Ramay wished for a meal for the two of them. Before they could blink, a delicious feast appeared. There was juicy pork and soft noodles, roast chicken, spicy lentils, ripe fruits, and a big bowl of sweet molasses. Soon the old man and Ramay had eaten all they could. Then, before they could blink, the empty dishes disappeared again. Ramay curled up on the floor and fell fast asleep. His tummy was full, and his head was full of happy dreams. The Rotten Trickster. Chapter 4. The next morning, Ramay thanked the old woodcutter for letting him sleep in the shack. Then he picked up the wand and left. He was feeling very happy. He hopped and skipped and sang all the way home. "Look, mother," he cried as he ran into their little hut. "An abominable snowman gave me his magic wand. It grants wishes. It will give us everything we want. We will never be poor again." "Abominable snowman? Magic wand?" repeated Ramay's mother. She could not believe it. "What nonsense! You're such a daydreamer, Ramay." "It's true," argued Ramay. "Just watch this. Oh, magic wand, please give my mother a bag of golden coins." But nothing happened. The sly old woodcutter had taken the wand for himself. That is why he had a wicked gleam in his eye. He had put the plain stick in its place. Ramay shook the stick. He tapped it on the table. He waved it wildly around his head, but still no gold appeared. "You silly, silly boy," shouted his mother. She did not know whether to laugh or to cry. "Throw away that stupid bit of wood and make yourself useful. Fetch some water from the well for me." But Ramay was already out of the door. He raced back to the Shokpa's cave. He was sure that it was the monster that had tricked him. When he reached the old tree, he shouted at the roots, "Shokpa, this time I'm going to eat your whole family for breakfast. You are a rotten trickster." The poor Shokpa did not know what Ramay was talking about. He asked Ramay to explain. When the Shokpa had heard Ramay's tale, he said, "Oh, terrible monster, I did not trick you. It must have been the old woodcutter. Take my wife's magic wand. Command it to beat anyone who touches it without your permission. Then go and stay again in the old man's shack. See what happens." The Beaten Trickster. Chapter 5. A second wand appeared from out of the ground. Ramay picked it up and did what the Abominable Snowman suggested. First, he commanded the wand to beat anyone who touched it without permission. Then he went back to the woodcutter's shack. He used the second wand to wish for another feast for himself and the old man. And what a feast it was! After they had eaten, Ramay fell asleep. In the middle of the night, Ramay was woken up by a most terrible noise. Ouch! There was some crashing furniture, a strange thumping sound, and loud cries for help. The second wand was chasing the old woodcutter around and around the shack. The old man was shouting out at the top of his voice, "Help! he yelled. He tried to get out of the way of the flying stick. Rame felt a bit sorry for the old man. "Stop!" he told the wand. Then the terrified woodcutter admitted that he had stolen the wand. He apologized 1,000 times and returned the wand to Rame. Immediately, Rame wished for a second wand to fly back to the shopper's wife. Then he returned home with the first magic wand. He wished for a fine new house, and it appeared. He wished for enough gold to last him and his mother the rest of their lives, and it appeared. His mother was amazed and delighted. All their wishes were granted. From that day on, they lived in peace and had plenty. And Rame did not forget the shopper and his family. He also made a few secret wishes for them. "May your cave be snug and dry," he whispered. "May your tummies always full. May your fur always keep you warm. And may the three of you never be eaten by monsters." Thank you, Rame. That's the end of the story. Thanks for listening.